Hi guys, it's Mark Zicree, Mr. Sci-Fi, also known as Mark Zicree of Space Command. And this is the last day of 2020, and for many people, I'm sure including you, we'll be bidding 2020 a fond adieu given all of the challenging experiences we've all had this year. But I wanted to talk about what was great about 2020. And first of all, I want to thank all of you for being a big part of what made 2020 really a great year in many ways for me and for Elaine and all of us here at Team Zikri. But here's several things, just in terms of general things, not just relating to my personal experiences. This year, thanks to YouTube, thanks to Netflix, Amazon Prime, Zoom, Disney Plus, YouTube, all of these wonderful video technological wonders, we had a very different experience than would have been the case in 1918 when the last major world pandemic struck. Because back then, before radio, before television, you had cinemas. That was pretty much it. And record albums, but people were much more isolated and you weren't connected to the world. And when you had to stay under lockdown, you couldn't see your friends or the people you loved. And now, thanks to us all learning Zoom, thanks to YouTube, thanks to all these wonderful video possibilities and options that we have, and the fact that we can watch video on our phones and on our tablets and our big screen TVs, there's such a wealth of possibility to keep us connected. So I just wanted to acknowledge that and thank you, because between Zoom for all of the meetings I've been having and YouTube, and we were able to accomplish wondrous things this year. Now, to just put it in context, each year I sit down at the beginning of the year and I look back at the previous year, what I've accomplished, and then I write what I hope to accomplish in the coming year. And then as the year goes on, I check and see how I'm doing and adjust as need be. So in this case, January, February, basically I was, on track early on. But as we were moving into March, April, the pandemic really started to take hold. And initially we were planning to shoot the second hour of Space Command Forgiveness. Basically we shot the first 2 hours of Redemption, our Space Command pilot, and we'd shot 1 hour of Forgiveness, and we were ramping up to shoot the fourth hour, the second hour of Forgiveness of Space Command. So we were all getting ready to do that, building sets, getting ready, and also we rented the studio. We're outfitting it as to shoot again, all of that. We basically opened up our physical studio again, and beyond that, we were planning to have a red carpet premiere at the Chinese Theater in Hollywood to show the first hour of Space Command. Well, obviously, those plans got changed. Now, as it became very clear that we were going to be in lockdown for a while, obviously it was important that we all keep ourselves and our team and our loved ones safe. And that became our priority, Elaine and mine. But also another priority of mine was to keep all of our team on salary and to keep everything continuing to move forward. So the first thing I did was I reached out to my fans and you guys, and we had a Kickstarter campaign. We'd had one previously in the year, but we had another one during the pandemic, and that was successful. And I reached out to our investors, and they were very generous, and it allowed us to keep the studio open, keep all of our people on salary, our visual effects team, Dave Edison, our editor, David Bartlett, our producer, on, and both here in LA and in London with Michelle DaCosta, and in Germany with Tobias Richter, and in Chile with Christian and his VFX team, and basically just keep everything moving. At the same time, I realized that that this could be a positive experience. We did not have to give in to the darkness, and so for me, it was a big opportunity. And so the first thing I did was, Elaine and I have had the same physical trainer for 30 years now, and we work out 3 times a week for 3 hours at a time. And so I was determined that we keep working out, we stay in physical shape, because I knew that just sitting around and getting lethargic and atrophying would not be a good idea for the old brain pan. And so fortunately we live near parks, and so even when the gyms closed down, we could still utilize the nearby parks to exercise. It being Los Angeles, the weather was mild, and it worked out. So, in fact, I worked out this morning. So, but secondly, because all of my friends who were actors were in lockdown as well, uh, I had the idea of doing a Space Command vignette that we could utilize some of our Space Command actors. And Elaine and I started writing it. And because I had laid out the entire first season of Space Command and beyond, and I knew where the show went, and I'd already written 8 hours and outlined hours 9 and 10 of the 12-hour season, I had all these characters in my head, and I knew who the actors were, but I just hadn't gotten around to shooting it yet. So I thought, well, why don't we write an episode, a pandemic episode, a special pandemic episode where our actors can shoot their own scenes in their own homes with their own cameras, whether they were here in LA or in Canada or in the UK or wherever. And so that's what we did. And so what started as just like a little vignette became 20 minutes, then an hour, and then 2 hours. And we completed Space Command Ripple Effect in 2 months' time, which is amazing. And we brought in actors. All of our Space Command cast were there: Mira Furlan, Bob Picardo, Bill Mumy, Doug Jones, and they all said, "You bet." And we brought in Christina Moses from A Million Little Things, and Neil deGrasse Tyson, and Armin Shimmerman, and Barbara Bain from Space 1999 and Mission Impossible. And it was just a great experience. We knew that it wouldn't be as polished as our usual Space Command episode, but we knew our fans would be willing to recognize that we were living in unusual times and give us a little bit of technical, pardon. So, so the episode is here on Mr. Sci-Fi. You can find it with a little looking, and I'm very proud of it. It came out really, really fun, and so all of our cast were there. And we'd also just previously shot a scene with Nichelle Nichols and one with Angelique Scott and Charlie Chilton, basically introducing her character, and so we were able to add those to Ripple Effect as well. But meantime, we didn't stop working on all the other episodes of Space Command. So here's what we were able to do this year, and it's thanks to you guys, it's thanks to your support, it's thanks to your help, it's thanks to everything you bring our wonderful lives. And so essentially we were able to release the first completed hour of Space Command this year. We're almost done with the second hour in terms of visual effects. It's looking really great. We're going to be releasing that in the next couple months. It's coming along terrifically well. The third hour we're putting together. That's going to come soon upon the heels of that. Again, these are finished, they're shot, they're in post. We're just adding visual effects, sound design, music, color correction, all that stuff, which costs money. So we have to keep raising money to keep the machine going. But it's all on track. And in terms of the fourth hour, we actually started shooting COVID compliant, SAG signatory, all of that. We shot some scenes from what we call 104. It's the second half of Space Command Forgiveness, and Brian McClure flew in from Atlanta, and Dallas Malloy, who's also in Space Command, was in the scene, and so we shot that. So we've started shooting, being very, very careful, making sure that none of our people get sick, and no one has, and then at the same time, finishing building the set. So we've got the alien spaceship essentially completed, the interior of the alien spaceship. It looks great. We've been working on other sets as well, building and acquiring more spacesuits and set pieces and so forth. And it just continues. And so that's gone full steam. Now at the same time, we've continued working on the animatic of the prequel. That's moving ahead, and the graphic novel, which Tahani Farr has been drawing, and it's just looking gorgeous. And of course, we recorded the entire prequel with our entire cast, and that's also available via Mr. Sci-Fi, via the Space Command store, and so forth. It's great. It's an audio prequel, and it's really, really great. So beyond that, we released the Space Command novel that Maya Bonhoff wrote, her adaptation of the first several hours of Space Command, and that's been sent off to our backers, and we'll soon be putting that up on Amazon for all of you to be able to purchase and read and enjoy. She's a wonderful writer. She's written Star Wars novels, and she also co-wrote the second Magic Time novel with me, so a phenomenally talented writer. Beyond that, wait, there's more. I also wrote a Space Command short story called Grizzled Space Jockey for an anthology called Space 1975, and it's about my character in Space Command. And so I'll be posting a video of me reading that story very, very soon, and I'm proud of that as well. Now, and this is just some of it. This is just some of what's been going on, because beyond that, we essentially, beyond Space Command, which I've actively been working to sell and been having meetings with via Zoom with Amazon and YouTube and, I'm sorry, Netflix and so forth. We also have been working on the Showrunners Network, which is a new project that I'm doing, where I'm creating 6 new shows with 6 major showrunners. And currently, we're working with venture capital executive to raise, to speak to a consortium of investors. Our hope is to raise $36 million to shoot 2 pilots and 1 entire season, and then take it out as a slate to the VOD platforms. And so I finished writing the first script. It's called Sweet Haven, and I'm co-creating it with Rockne O'Bannon, who created Farscape, Alien Nation, Defiance, Cult, Sequest. He's currently executive producer on Evil on CBS. And Elena and I wrote the pilot. It's come out great. We've got Barbara Bain and Mike Harney and Bob Picardo, Gates McFadden from Star Trek: The Next Generation aboard, an incredible cast, and so we'll be doing a table read of that very shortly, a video Zoom table read to share with you, and then as soon as the pandemic is over, then we'll shoot our show, our pilot, 2-hour pilot. Now, beyond that, so of the 6 new series under the Showrunners Network, Space Command is 1, Sweet Haven with Rockne O'Bannon is the 2nd. There's a 3rd pilot called Fugitive Space that Mark Fergus and Hawk Ostby, the creators and showrunners of The Expanse, are aboard on. They also wrote Children of Men and Iron Man. And they're not the novelists who created The Expanse, but they brought it to television and developed it for television. They're great, great guys. And beyond that, I'm in communication with the Serling estate on Rod Serling's After Twilight, a new Serling TV show I want to do. And that's going very, very well, and we'll see where it leads. But I'm also in communication with a number of other showrunners and creators. There's a show that Elena's created called Harbor that we're looking to do. There's also Magic Time, which I very much have wanted to do as a series, and Christina Moses and Armin Shimmerman are part of that. So we'll see how that leads. But it's, I didn't slow down when the pandemic hit. I ramped up. And so it's been a busy but very, very fruitful year. So we've got that all in motion now. And then, beyond that, I also have a new book I'm writing called Greenlighting Yourself, which is about how everyone can sort of be their own studio, be their own network, make things happen for themselves in film and TV and books. That because of the new technologies, you don't have to wait for a studio or a network or a publishing company to wave its magic wand. You can reach your audience directly. And so I'm over halfway done with that book. It's coming out great. And it's going to be published by Silman James as soon as I'm done with it. They're my publisher on the Twilight Zone Companion. So my gosh, busy times, busy times. I'm currently talking with a number of other creators. I'm reaching out to George R. R. Martin and Neil Gaiman and Ron Moore. We'll see who has the ability to come aboard the Showrunners Network. But of course, all of these friends are welcome. And but it's an amazing time. There's also a Ray Bradbury project that I'm pursuing as well with my friend Michael Nankin, who was one of the great directors on Battlestar Galactica and also an executive producer and director on Defiance, as well as he also directed the Sweet Lord Bird with the Ethan Hawke for Showtime recently. So, so my gosh, what a time! What an amazing time! And so, we're doing TV, we're doing graphic novels and audio plays and the whole 9 yards. And I have my own channel, thanks to Mr. Sci-Fi, thanks to YouTube, and thanks to you guys. And we're continuing to raise money. So if you want to throw a little money our way via Patreon or buy a Space Command share, where you get some of my producers' net profits in Space Command when the show sells, that's $7,500 per share. There'll be information on the links down there. Also, you can pre-order the pilot of Space Command as a Blu-ray and DVD. Those will be ready very soon, and you can actually purchase for like $5 a high quality download of the first hour of Space Command, which I'm very proud of. So all the information will be down there. But thanks again for everything. Thank you for making this a great year for Space Command and for Elaine and myself. We're very grateful to all of you. It's an amazing life that we're gifted with here, and of course, and none of this is to diminish at all the struggles that everyone has had around the world. For those who've lost loved ones, that's totally irreplaceable. There's no way to reckon with that other than that you had them in your life and you loved them, and a life without love is meaningless. So So that's the most important thing, to remember them and love them and pay it forward. And for those who've suffered financial losses, other losses, and let's hope 2021 will be better. I think it will be. Many of you know I'm a liberal. I'm very glad, of course, that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris won. And whatever your political beliefs, I think the coming year will have far greater sanity and far greater stability. And I think people will get a lot more of the need of what they need fulfilled. So let's hope. Let's hope. And but for all of you, regardless of your political stripe, regardless of any other factor, you're all part of the Space Command family. You're all dear to my heart, and I look forward very much to sharing the coming year with you, as well as the years that we've all shared so far. So you take care. Keep safe. It's not over yet. Wear your mask. Keep socially distant, and we'll see you in the coming year. Bye, guys.